Discover the fascinating story of how France's geography has played a crucial role in shaping its destiny as one of the world's most powerful and prosperous nations. From its strategic location in Europe to its natural defenses, extensive coastlines and fertile plains, France's unique geography has been instrumental in its economic growth, military strength, and cultural influence throughout history. In this video, we dive deep into France's geographical advantages. Learn how France's position between northern and southern Europe made it a hub for trade and cultural exchange. Explore the significance of France's dual coastlines on the Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea, which helped it become a global trading giant. Understand how natural barriers like the Alps, Pyrenees, and Jura have historically protected the nation from invasions. Discover how rivers like the Seine, Rhône, and Loire have powered commerce, connected cities, and boosted agriculture, creating a breadbasket of Europe. Find out why France's fertile lands, especially in regions like Bordeaux, Champagne, and Normandy, make it a leading agricultural producer and exporter. Understand how geography has enabled France to rise as a global power in both ancient and modern times. This video offers an in-depth analysis of the geographical features that have made France a global leader in various sectors, from agriculture and industry to trade and tourism. Whether you're a history enthusiast, geography lover, or just curious about how a nation's landscape can shape its future, this video is for you. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful videos about geography, history, and global power. France, one of the world's foremost economic and cultural powers, owes much of its prosperity and influence to its geographic position. With natural fortifications, fertile lands, and strategic access to seas, France has benefited from both protection and connectivity, which have allowed it to thrive as a nation. France's geography, in this sense, is not merely a backdrop to its culture, history, and economy, but a key factor in shaping its destiny. This essay delves deeply into the various geographic features that have contributed to France's richness, examining natural barriers, river systems, coastlines, and their historical and modern relevance. France's geographical placement is the first significant factor that has contributed to its wealth and power. Straddling Western Europe, it acts as a bridge between northern and southern Europe and is ideally situated to access markets and cultures from various parts of the continent. France's borders touch 8 countries: Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Spain, Andorra, and Monaco, making it a focal point for European interaction, both commercially and culturally. Historically, this crossroads position made France a highly coveted prize for empires, as it sits along many of Europe's key trade routes. The same position that invited invasions also made France the heart of military and diplomatic activities in Europe. The ability to control this central location has, through much of history, meant the ability to exert influence over much of Europe. France's geographic advantage is not limited to its land-based position. It is also the only European country that boasts coastlines on both the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. This dual access has historically provided France with critical maritime capabilities that propelled it into global prominence during the age of exploration and trade. The western coast, from the chilly North Sea to the tempestuous Bay of Biscay, has long served as France's gateway to the world. It was from these shores that explorers like Jacques Cartier sailed to North America, opening the way for French colonial ventures in the New World. Coastal cities like Le Havre, Nantes, and Bordeaux grew into bustling ports, bringing in wealth from across the Atlantic and beyond. In the modern era, this Atlantic access has continued to provide significant economic benefits. Ports such as Le Havre remain among the busiest in Europe, serving as critical hubs for trade with the United Kingdom, the Americas, and Africa. These coastal facilities not only serve domestic industries, but also make France a major player in global commerce. On its southern flank, France benefits from its Mediterranean coastline, which has been a cradle of civilization and trade for millennia. The French Riviera, famous for its beauty, also harbors the port of Marseille, one of the oldest cities in France, established by the Greeks as a trade colony. Over the centuries, Marseille and other southern ports facilitated trade with North Africa, the Middle East, and the rest of southern Europe. This maritime commerce brought not only goods like spices and silks from the Orient, but also intellectual and cultural exchanges that enriched France's development. Thus, France's dual access to the Atlantic and Mediterranean has not only secured it a leading role in international trade, but has also allowed it to project its naval power globally. This ability to control sea routes and interact with diverse regions has been a defining feature of France's historical growth. France's natural borders have been another source of its strength, helping it to withstand invasions and maintain territorial integrity through much of its history. The Pyrenees, Alps, Jura, and Ardennes mountain ranges form formidable natural barriers along several of France's frontiers, effectively acting as a defense mechanism that has allowed the country to avoid many external threats over the centuries. The Pyrenees Mountains, stretching between France and Spain, act as an imposing barrier to movement between the two countries. Historically, these mountains provided a defensive line that kept invaders from the Iberian Peninsula at bay. The steep slopes and narrow passes of the Pyrenees have also historically helped maintain regional identities within France, especially in areas like Catalonia and Basque Country, which have long held unique cultural traditions that distinguish them from the rest of France. The Alps, stretching along France's border with Italy, present an even more imposing geographic feature. With soaring peaks and treacherous passes, the Alps have served as a powerful natural defense against military incursions from the Italian peninsula. Napoleon famously crossed the Alps in 1800, but such crossings were rare and difficult, often only possible through meticulous planning and determination. The Alps also contribute to France's economic wealth, as they are a major destination for tourism, particularly in winter sports. Iconic resorts like Chamonix and Courchevel attract millions of visitors each year, making the French Alps a major revenue generator. Additionally, the Alps play a crucial role in influencing France's climate and weather patterns, creating distinct microclimates in regions such as Provence and Savoie, which contribute to their rich agricultural productivity. While less dramatic than the Pyrenees or the Alps, the Jura Mountains along the Swiss border and the Ardennes near Belgium also serve as strategic fortifications. The Jura, with its rolling hills and limestone formations, has acted as a physical barrier in eastern France. Moreover, this range is home to significant natural resources, such as timber and minerals, that have long fueled France's economy. Rivers of life, arteries of commerce and culture. A country's river systems often serve as the lifeblood of its economy, and France's vast network of rivers has played a pivotal role in its development. Rivers such as the Seine, Loire, Rhône, and Garonne have not only enabled transportation and commerce, but also sustained agriculture and served as cultural and historical landmarks. The Seine, the Parisian lifeline. The Seine River, flowing through Paris, is perhaps France's most iconic river. It has played a central role in the economic and cultural life of the country. The river has long provided a crucial transport route, connecting Paris with the English Channel and facilitating trade between the French interior and northern Europe. The development of Paris, France's capital and economic hub, owes much to the presence of the Seine, which brought goods, people, and ideas into the city. Beyond commerce, the Seine has been a source of inspiration for countless artists and writers, solidifying its place as a cultural symbol of France. The Rhône gateway to the Mediterranean. Originating in the Swiss Alps and flowing into the Mediterranean, the Rhône has been a critical artery for trade and transport in southeastern France. The Rhône Valley is one of France's most agriculturally productive regions, particularly noted for its vineyards and wine production. Cities like Lyon, situated along the Rhône, have flourished as commercial centers due to their access to both Mediterranean markets and the rest of Europe. The Rhône also plays a key role in energy production, as it is home to numerous hydroelectric dams, contributing significantly to France's energy independence. The Loire France's longest river and cultural heartland. The Loire, meandering from the Massif Central to the Atlantic Ocean, is famous for its picturesque landscapes and the Loire Valley, often referred to as the Garden of France. This fertile region has been the seat of French royalty, home to grand chateaux and historic towns. While the Loire is less navigable than the Seine or the Rhône, its surrounding plains have been critical to French agriculture, particularly in terms of wine production. The Garonne southwestern passage to the Atlantic. Flowing from the Pyrenees to the Atlantic, the Garonne is essential to southwestern France, where it irrigates vineyards and agricultural lands. Cities like Bordeaux owe much of their prosperity to the Garonne, as its access to the Atlantic facilitated France's rise as a major player in transatlantic trade, particularly in the wine industry. Fertile Crescent, breadbasket of a nation. Beyond its rivers, France's plains and fertile soils have made it one of Europe's primary agricultural producers. The northern and central regions of France are particularly rich in alluvial soils, which, combined with a temperate climate, support the cultivation of a variety of crops, including wheat, barley, and grapes. France's agricultural wealth has been critical to its economic success for centuries. The Champagne, Burgundy, and Bordeaux regions, in particular, are world-renowned for their vineyards, producing some of the finest wines in the world. Normandy and Brittany are known for dairy products and apples, while Provence in the south produces olives and lavender, both of which are integral to France's cuisine and export economy. France's agricultural bounty has not only fed its population, but has also been a key element of its export economy. In modern times, France remains one of the world's leading exporters of agricultural products, ensuring its position as a dominant force in the global market. A legacy forged in geography, political, and military impacts. While France has been invaded numerous times throughout history, its geographical features have often provided a critical advantage in slowing or stopping invading forces. While not impenetrable, the natural barriers surrounding France, its mountains, rivers, and coastlines, have frequently made it difficult for armies to successfully conquer and occupy the entire country. These defenses allowed France to develop a sense of national identity and to build resilient, centralized governance structures. The most iconic example of France's natural defense system in action was during World War I and World War II. The Ardennes Forest, a thickly wooded area between France, Luxembourg, and Belgium, was assumed to be impassable by large armies during World War I, influencing French military strategy. However, it was famously breached by German forces in 1940, highlighting both the strengths and weaknesses of depending too heavily on natural features for defense. Nevertheless, geography has often acted as a military advantage. For example, in the Napoleonic Wars, French armies were able to exploit their strategic location in the heart of Europe to rapidly strike at surrounding nations, while mountainous borders like the Alps and Pyrenees provided a degree of protection against counterattacks. France's strategic location at the crossroads of Europe has also made it a hub for trade and cultural exchange throughout history. Its fertile lands, natural resources, and geographical features such as rivers and coastlines fostered the development of cities that became economic and cultural centers. From the Silk Road to the Atlantic slave trade, France has always been deeply involved in global trade networks. French ports along the Mediterranean and Atlantic coasts became focal points of European commerce. The port of Marseille, for instance, facilitated trade routes that stretched as far as the Levant and North Africa. Meanwhile, Bordeaux and Nantes served as key locations in the triangular trade, linking Europe, Africa, and the Americas. Beyond goods, ideas and cultural influences flowed through these trade routes, enriching French art, science, and intellectual life. France's role as a hub of Enlightenment thought in the 18th century, its leadership in the development of Western cuisine, and its contributions to the Renaissance were all bolstered by its geography, which allowed for a continuous influx of ideas and materials from across Europe and the world. France's geography has also been critical to its naval and military might. The dual access to both the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea enabled France to become a significant naval power, particularly during the height of its imperial period in the 17th and 18th centuries. The French Navy played a crucial role in establishing and maintaining France's colonial empire, which at its peak spanned the Americas, Africa, and Asia. Ports such as Toulon on the Mediterranean and Cherbourg on the Atlantic were crucial military outposts, allowing France to protect its trade routes and project its power across the globe. This maritime capability was central to France's efforts during conflicts such as the 7 Years' War and the Napoleonic Wars, where French naval forces challenged the dominance of the British fleet. Even in modern times, the French Navy remains a major force, capable of deploying globally due to France's strategic geographic advantages. Modern-day relevance geography in the 21st century. While France's geography has played a significant role in shaping its historical trajectory, these geographical advantages continue to be vital in modern times. France remains one of the world's largest economies and a key player on the global stage, with its natural resources, strategic location, and skilled workforce all contributing to its ongoing success. France's economy is one of the most diversified in the world, and its geography plays a key role in this. The country's fertile plains and extensive river networks continue to support a thriving agricultural sector. France is a global leader in the production of wine, cheese, and grains, and its agricultural exports contribute significantly to its economic output. Regions such as Normandy and the Loire Valley are known for their dairy production, while Bordeaux and Champagne produce some of the world's most famous wines. Beyond agriculture, France's geographic position as a Central European hub allows it to maintain strong industrial and service sectors. The Île-de-France region, which includes Paris, is one of the most economically powerful metropolitan areas in the world. Thanks to its central location, Paris is not only a financial and cultural capital, but also a global transportation hub, with Charles de Gaulle Airport being one of the busiest in Europe. France's access to the Mediterranean and Atlantic also plays a role in its energy independence. France has invested heavily in nuclear energy, and its access to natural resources like uranium and rivers for cooling nuclear reactors has made it one of the most energy-secure nations in the world. The Rhône and Seine rivers, in particular, are home to a large number of nuclear power plants, which contribute to France's low-carbon energy strategy. France's geography continues to influence its role in global diplomacy and defense. As a founding member of the European Union and a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, France plays a critical role in international affairs. Its strategic position in Europe, combined with its military and economic strength, allows France to exert influence over both continental and global issues. France's extensive coastline and maritime infrastructure allow it to maintain a global military presence. The French Navy remains one of the most advanced in the world, with nuclear-powered aircraft carriers and a global network of naval bases that enable France to project power far beyond its borders. In the 21st century, France's geographic and natural beauty continues to fuel one of its most lucrative industries, tourism. France is the most visited country in the world, drawing tens of millions of tourists each year who come to experience its diverse landscapes, from the beaches of the French Riviera to the snowy peaks of the Alps and the rolling vineyards of Burgundy. The Alps, in particular, are a year-round destination for tourists, attracting winter sports enthusiasts during the colder months and hikers during the summer. Mont Blanc, the highest peak in Western Europe, is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. The Loire Valley is another key region for tourism, known for its historic chateaux, gardens, and vineyards. This area, often referred to as the Garden of France, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and remains one of the country's top destinations for domestic and international visitors. Environmental and ecological considerations, a sustainable future. As France looks to the future, its geography will continue to play a crucial role in its efforts to tackle environmental challenges. France is deeply invested in combating climate change and protecting its natural landscapes, from the coastal ecosystems of the Camargue to the forests of the Vosges Mountains. France's extensive river system is not only a historic facilitator of commerce, but also a modern resource for sustainable energy. The Rhône, Loire, and Garonne rivers all feature major hydroelectric plants that contribute to France's energy grid. Additionally, France has invested in offshore wind farms along its Atlantic coast, taking advantage of the strong winds that blow off the Bay of Biscay. France's varied landscapes are home to a rich diversity of flora and fauna. From the wetlands of the Camargue to the alpine ecosystems in the Alps, France is home to numerous endemic species that require careful management and protection. National parks such as Parc National des Écrins in the Alps and Parc National des Pyrénées in the Pyrenees help to safeguard these natural treasures while also promoting sustainable tourism and conservation efforts. France's geography also places it at the forefront of climate change adaptation. Coastal areas along the Mediterranean are particularly vulnerable to rising sea levels and extreme weather events, necessitating innovative approaches to environmental protection. The Camargue region, for example, is a vital wetland area that is under threat from saltwater intrusion due to sea level rise, leading to efforts to reinforce natural barriers and protect ecosystems. France's geography is more than just a collection of physical features. It is the foundation upon which its economy, culture, and political power have been built. From the natural fortresses of the Pyrenees and Alps to the fertile plains of Normandy and the Loire Valley, France's geographic attributes have played a decisive role in its historical development and modern prosperity. The country's dual access to both the Atlantic and Mediterranean, its strategic location at the heart of Europe, and its natural defenses have allowed it to thrive as both a bastion of European power and a gateway to the wider world. Whether through its rivers that connect cities, its fertile soils that sustain agriculture, or its coastal ports that drive global commerce, France's geography has been the silent architect of its success. As France continues to face the challenges of the 21st century, from climate change to globalization, its geographic advantages remain as relevant as ever. France's ability to leverage its natural resources, strategic position, and diverse landscapes will continue to define its role as a global leader in the years to come.